they say that they don't think they can do poly, but you have to see where the source of those thoughts came from, because that could have been a programming that you have to change. But really, polygamy ain't for everybody, really, because if a man isn't truly like nation building and like has a mission and a message that they want to put out, like, it's no reason to be polygamous. So it's really not for everybody. So it's do y'all have a different connection? Yeah. Poppy says it's like having a whole bunch of daughters. You have a different relationship with each of your daughters. It's different, but it's still special. The daughter thing threw y'all off? That was just an example to explain the different relationships. The different dynamics of the relationships are different. You gotta have to take it like that. You know, people brag about coming back to nature, eating fruit, being one with their true essence, their highest self. But when we truly come back to nature, you have to understand that as men, we must realize that you are polygamous and this is your true nature. So you can't go into the jungles and say you're one with nature when you're still practicing European ways of life that was embedded in you, embedded in all of us as generational curses. So yes, this is our true nature, being polygamous. Men are polygamous. If you look at the biology behind it, men constantly reproduce sperm cells, and women can only they only have a chance of getting impregnated. What is it? Ovulation is like 3 days out of a whole month, and when you are pregnant, you cannot get pregnant. You're just sitting there, and the man is constantly reproducing his sperm cells, his information, his DNA to spread his gene. But you're the only woman he's with. That goes against the very essence of a man's purpose, a man's biology. We can't just forget about this true aspect of ourselves. And as women, we have to truly understand that men are polygamous. I know the little Disney fairy tale shows you of like the monogamy, one man and a woman, all romantic, and you know, we have broken families, so we seek attention from whether it's with male figures, because maybe we didn't have our dad, so we're seeking that from another man. So in polygamy, you may subconsciously get jealous because he's giving another woman attention and not you, because it's a generational curse of yours to have the family splitting up. So you know, we crave that attention, so we may get jealous, we're insecure because of that. You know what I mean? So we have to love ourselves. We have to fully understand ourselves, become one with ourselves and whole within ourselves, and love it, be comfortable with it, know who you are, so, and be grounded and stable in who you are, so you won't get jealous because another sister wife of yours is getting more attention that appears separate from you, is getting more attention, but truly that is you. She's bringing something to him that is going to better him that maybe you cannot offer, and that is okay, because what you offer is still important and it's still needed. You can't look at polygamy, you can't look at your sister's wife as separate from you. This is one entity, this is one body, this is one cell. So this cell is doing something, your cell does something. Let's come together and be one thing. Let's stop going into separation, because when you go into separation, you start feeling insecure, the energy is draining, and you're being a cancer cell to the body that is supposed to be one and is supposed to be in harmony with one. So we gotta cut it out. We have to love ourselves. We have to know who we are. Don't close off because you may get jealous. You're insecure because you don't fully love yourself. So we have to love ourselves. It doesn't happen overnight, nope. But you gotta keep on being conscious of what you're doing, especially on this frequency. It's bigger than us. Everything is bigger than us. So don't get caught up in your finite form when you're infinite. Don't separate yourself from yourself. Don't separate yourself from your reality when you're triggered. Be conscious, because we can move subconsciously when we're triggered. We can move subconsciously, and somebody say, oh, you did this because you're doing this. You be like, damn, I didn't even peep it. So we really have to be aware of our emotions, because the feminine energy is very chaotic. We feel one thing and we just move off of emotions. So we really have to analyze our thoughts, analyze our emotions. Where are they coming from? Go to the root, fix it. Remind yourself of what you're doing. Change the emotion. Don't act on it, because when you act on the emotions, that's similar to responding when you're drunk, just careless, not thinking, just moving, and that's feminine energy for you. So we have to control it. And our being with your divine masculine, being with that man, grounds you as well, because you're not only one with him. Well, to be one with him, you have to be one with his mind, one with his mission, and this is supposed to ground you as a woman, being one with your man. Because as you can see, when you're not one with your man, that's when shit start going crazy. That's when you're not married anymore, because you thinking different. You and your lower self, you being insecure. That's not what you signed up for, and that's not aligned with him. So ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you really committed? You gotta look at yourself. You gotta look at yourself and remind yourself and be conscious, because we running off of subconscious, because in our lower self we just act on emotion. So always be aware. Watch your mind. See a demon from a mile away. You see him talking to another woman, even though you may not feel the emotion right away. Notice that, okay, this a while ago this would bother me, and it's not bothering me right now, but let me just realize that, and let me get the healthy perspective right now before I get bothered. Let me just stay conscious and aware of what this is and what I'm doing, so I won't move subconsciously, so I can be aware, so I won't be used as a weapon against my own man when I'm supposed to uplift him and not emasculate him. So, and this is a woman, this is a part of us tapping into our true essence in the natural world. You know, as we cultivate, we gonna need our sisters to help us raise these children. We gonna need our sisters to help teach these children. We gonna need help, because we gotta take care of our babies and our men, and we gonna need our sister wives. And they make it competitive for women in Babylon. They teach us not to like each other. So we just healing generational curses. We become one with our higher self when we truly tap into nature, and we truly tap into who we are, and we break through these generational curses through polygamy. So stay broad-minded. Don't be a woman that fights against her man. Do you know how much the man has went through in Babylon? Do you know how they treat our gods? Our men, they put him in cells. They demonize him and criminalize him. Do you know how people look at the black man all over the world? And the black woman is going to just go along with that and help tear the black man down. That's not okay. And let us be the ones to uplift them. Don't let the lower self get to you and perpetuate that behavior of breaking our men down, because our men are hurt and we need them and they need us. It's a lot of hurt and pain, hurt in our DNA, pain, and we gotta fix it. We can't keep doing the same thing. We gotta come back to home. We gotta come back to the tropics and get shit right, because we are beautiful people. We are strong people. We're so talented and we know how to do everything, but they try to put us in a box and cages and try to domesticate us. But we infinite, we God, and fuck that system. Fuck that system. Fuck the lower self. I hate it for what it has done. I'm just thankful that I can see things for what they truly are. And with me being able to even have that knowledge, it's my duty to uphold the morals and principles and not fall to my lower self. It is my duty. So shame on me if I let my lower self thoughts take control of me. Shame on me if I'm not continuously being a role model and setting an example to the community to wake up other people. Shame on me. That's why we just have to stay conscious and aware what this is, and aware that what we're doing is bigger than us. I hope you learned something from this message. Came from my heart. I love myself. Bitches be like, if I can't have a nigga soul, then he can't get none of me. That really be the mindset of a lot of women. And I'm here in this video to let you know that that shit toxic. That shit is fucked up. That shit is backwards. That shit is unnatural. And that's something that we really need to look at. Why do you want a whole nigga's soul? He don't owe you that. A nigga owe you his soul. We need to get to the root of this, ladies. We really need to get to the root. We really need to break this shit down. Like, this is not okay. This mindset is not okay. Let me tell you something. Can we just stop and think, like, damn, these are the thoughts that's causing me suffering, pain, heartache, hurt. Damn, these are the thoughts that my mom probably had about my dad, which is probably why they're not together. Sure, why mom probably not together, and everybody else I know. Let's stop for a moment and stop being surface and look at the root instead of perpetuating the same shit. You're never gonna get a nigga soul, and if you ever do get a nigga soul, you're not gonna like the nigga because you're gonna think he weak for him giving you his soul. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. First of all, we be so mad at men because they not giving us something that we have to give ourselves. You know, one thing that Baba G said, he said that polygamy is the key, is the gateway for women to step into their divinity. Because let me tell you, when you're dealing with polygamy, you dealing with all the generational curses that you need to heal. You have to practice not going into separation. You have to practice loving yourself when you're not necessarily getting the attention that you so-called desire and need. You have to take that time for yourself and love yourself and be in your craft and be your most authentic self and keep on blossoming and blooming. Flowers in a garden don't look at the other flower and stop blooming because they're all blooming. They don't compare and compete with the other flowers beside it. They all just bloom together. Aren't we flowers? Aren't we like nature? Let me tell you something. We have to look at the thoughts, and we have to look at the source of where the thoughts come from. Somebody program you and told you this was your name, that this is what you need to do with your life, that this is the job you need to take, that you need to go to school, that this is your religion and this is your God. Somebody told you those things. You're going to sit there and just continue to believe them, or are you going to ask questions? You know how a baby, so pure, innocent, and beautiful, and it comes out so empty. You know what takes away from that purity? People putting their little thoughts in them. You know when a baby first say a cuss word, they be like, bitch, and you be like, who taught them that? You would never think that baby would say that, huh, when it first came out the womb. But people programmed. A lot of times women do men dirty because they was with another woman. And man, you gotta stop lying. You just have to be real, because it is your nature to be polygamous, and it's causing a lot of confusion and heartache because a man is trying to be committed to one woman. Simultaneously, his nature, he wants to be with multiple women, and then men lying about it to the woman, and the woman not understand the man's nature. So it's just heartache, but you're gonna go through the same thing with the next dude. So we have to understand that polygamy is natural, that polygamy is something that we have to come into. Biologically, it makes sense. I just wanted to go into, you know, the expectations that women have to men. Bitch, nobody's supposed to sit up your ass and give you all this attention all day, every day. A man shows his love by providing and protecting for you. Bitch, what else do you need? Like, for me personally, like, my husband, Baba G, like, I don't have to get up and go to work. I don't have to lift a finger. All I have to do is be a woman. And sometimes I would get jealous because I'm not getting a certain amount of attention, or da-da-da-da. But that's just set up, and the universe is setting that up to trigger emotion within me, because I always expected a man to be all about me and up my ass all the time. But bitch, look around you. Be grateful. Like I said, bitches be wanting a nigga's soul. And he don't owe you that, baby. You got to get that to yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to put in some effort too. You have to do the work too. When you with a divine masculine that knows who he is, that has knowledge, and he teaches you and guides you and take care of you in every way, and you walk around, you just got to take care of him, cook, keep the house together. You stay in your domain. You don't have to get up and go work for a system and tire your body. Your body isn't meant for that, baby. Your body is to be a mom, to nurse and nurture the children, the husband, and take care of the house. Like, that's our function. And what's more beautiful than doing that with other women, other beautiful women too, that all love each other? Your sister or somebody is getting attention. You can't go into separation. You have to remember that reality is a mirror, and you're like, wow, look at me. A lot of times people don't know what they need. Maybe you don't need all the emotional stuff and you think you need it, but it coming from a place of void and insecurity that you have to heal. That void, that empty circle that you have, nobody can fill that up for you. And if they do fill it up for you and you don't fill it up for yourself, the person can take it away from you. So you don't truly have it. You have to fill that up for yourself. You have to work on self. Being in a polygamous relationship is about working on yourself. Nobody owes you anything. When are we going to look at the truth and stop perpetuating generational curses? Stop thinking a white man's thoughts. When are we going to organize it instead of having your man going out, who in the hell he fucking, but when we're going to organize it so it can be a sisterhood dynamic, so you can know what's going on, who he fucking, women that he actually loved and that you love too. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Wouldn't you want to have hella moms? We have to come back to indigenous living. We have to come back to the root. We have to come back to nature and science and the true way of life so we can truly evolve as humans, because these thoughts that women are having about men in the backward roles that are going on right now in Babylon, men being women and women being men, that is putting out a signal into the earth that is unnatural and it's imbalanced. And the earth feels that, and it feels the sickness and the cancer in the body that's going against what it is. So it's going to have the earthquakes. It's going to have the global warming. All the weather and shit and conditions that's going on is because there's a bad signal being put out to the earth. And the earth is trying to destroy that shit. Destroy it. And the earth is going to come back and bang on all the sickness. And that is why we say the meek shall inherit the earth. Who's in tune with the earth, the truth. That's who's going to prevail. And every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess to the truth. So throw your feelings away, baby. Throw your feelings away. And you better get divine knowledge of yourself, and you better get the truth. A man don't owe you nothing. You owe yourself. You have to want to do the work to better yourself, to let go of the insecurities and, being grateful. Bitch, you're not going to get a nigga's soul. Study yourself. Ask questions. Look at why you're hurting. Don't point the finger. Take responsibility and then take the steps so you can heal. Change your perspective on your trauma. Don't say that he don't care about you and he don't love you. Understand his nature. Teach him about his nature. Encourage men to study their nature and organize it, because if not, we're going to keep on doing the same shit that's hurting ourselves.